Hello everyone. So I've got another collection, a video about my collection to show off today. So I thought I would make a video showing off all of the Leeds United autograph cards I've got in my collection today. So it's quite a unique part of my collection that I personally don't show this off. I have a couple of Instagram accounts for my cards, but I don't show my Leeds United stuff anywhere. So over the past probably 4 years, I've been building this little collection up to the point of quite a lot of autographs now. And I just thought anyone who's potentially a Leeds fan or just generally likes cards might enjoy seeing these. So I've got some cards in this binder I'll show last, and then I've got some piles of top loaded and magged cards to sort of show off. So this first pile here is cards of current or ex-Leeds players but in non-Leeds United kits, so it's quite a small pile. The first are a couple of Joe Rodon cards. I don't know if I believe this is Joe Rodon's actual autograph. It's a Leaf card. It looks this one probably looks a bit more legitimate. Obviously the current Leeds United centre half. But that was from when he was playing either for Wales or for Tottenham. Brendan Aronson, USA card. It's an autograph out of 10. Got it, I think, quite a very cheap price, to be fair, for the cards. So yeah, current Leeds United midfielder. Ex-Leeds United winger Manor Solomon, had him on loan last year in the Championship. This is from the Impeccable set. Got it very cheap for the how much this set costs. He was a really good player for us last year. A little player who hasn't played for Leeds for a long time, Lewis Cook, still at Bournemouth. Left Leeds, went to Bournemouth. He's still at Bournemouth. Probably, I think, like a decade ago. I did have a season ticket when he first came through, and he was really good in what was a really poor Leeds side at the time. Player that left us a couple of seasons ago when we were in the Championship, only spent 1.5 years with us, Rutter. That's his autograph from the Bundesliga Chrome set. Noah Okafor, current forward for Leeds. This is an autograph from when he was at AC Milan. I picked this up at a recent card show. One of my absolute favourite Leeds United players, unfortunately has no Leeds United cards, Pontus Jansson. Centre half from when we were in the Championship, left when Bielsa was in charge. Current backup fullback at Leeds, left and right back James Justin, back from when he was playing for Leicester. A name from the early 2000s from Leeds, Matt Viduka, Newcastle autograph. Current Leeds striker, Lucas Netcher, scored 4 goals this season so far. This is his autograph card from Immaculate from when he was called up to the German national team. Probably my favourite from the set of cards I've just shown, Johnny Howson's Premier League autograph from the 2013 Premier League set. This is after he'd left Leeds and gone to Norwich like a few other players did. Was a player I really liked. It's not the last time you'll see his auto in my collection. Next pile. So we've got some of the Leeds United autographs. So the first 6 are the set of 6 Prism Autos from the 21-22 sets. We didn't have any autographs in the 2021 set the first year. We got promoted under Bielsa. We had 6 in the second set. So we had probably the worst of the bunch, Meslier, Bamford, Jack Harrison, absolute favourite of mine, Stuart Dallas, Calvin Phillips, and Rafinha. Then you get into the parallels of some of these. So I have the blue short print, these aren't numbered, but they look really good as Leeds United cards, of Calvin Phillips, and I have the Stuart Dallas of the same. So I've got 2 of those. I've got the, I'm not sure what colour this is, like burgundy. They are out of 25 of Stuart Dallas. And then I've got the silver, and that is out of 99. So they're all of my Prism autographs from the 21-22 set. And then in this pile here, first I've got some of the Legend on card. I've got a Legend on card autograph of Peter Lorimer, which I picked up off eBay. It's a card from the 1978. Main reason I bought this is not because of him playing for Leeds, but that's part of the reason. Well, like him being a legend for Leeds. But back when I had a season ticket at Leeds, you used to be able to go to the pavilion across from the ground before the game and sort of waiting there before the match. And he used to host like a Q&A on the stage with other legend players, and they'd predict the score and just have a general chat about how Leeds were doing. So I saw plenty of Peter Lorimer back then, so that was a really cool card. Another Leeds legend from one of the more recent sets, 22-23, I think it's Panini Chronicles, yeah, of Gordon Strachan, back the Top Man Leeds kit. You'll have seen this if you've seen one of my my card show pickup videos from the Northwest Card Show, the Somerville Select Silver autograph, not numbered, but his autographs were redemptions, and I think they were the only. He had very few autographs for Leeds. Panini Score autograph of Willie Nonto. Funnily enough, this is the only card, I think, of a Leeds player in this kit, because all of the Panini Score ones are in the home shirt, and this is the third shirt, and I don't think there's any other cards. It's quite cool, actually. Obviously, he's still at Leeds now, playing his part. Panini Revolution, Luke Ayling autograph, non-numbered, but I really like the design of this. The yellow and blue looks really cool for Leeds. Really good fullback for us, especially under Marcelo Bielsa. It was a sad time to see him leave a couple of seasons ago. Panini Score again, this time the 21-22 season, Jack Harrison, autograph out of 199. And then one of my best autographs, the Stuart Dallas Panini Score 21-22 autograph out of 10, the gold. Then I've got an immaculate patch autograph of Luke Ayling. Match worn used patch. This is the away kit from the 2020-21 season. So one of very few things in cards that is associated with that season that's like an autograph or a part of a kit. So that's quite cool, and you can tell it's the vertical strike kit from that season. I've had to stop displaying this now because you'll see the autograph starting to fade. So I'm keeping that in my protective case now. Unsure if this is genuine autograph or not, but this is potentially an on-card autograph of Ross McCormack, an absolutely amazing player. Back when he was playing for Leeds, back when we finished like 12th one season, he was top scorer in the league with 29 goals, and he was one of the best players in the league at that time. Before we sold him to Fulham for what was a really large fee at the time, but it was a shame to see him go because he was so good. Especially, I think he scored 4 against Huddersfield in one game, and he was just unplayable that day. So really happy to own that. Similar vein, another one of our absolute best players from the 2010s. One of my personal favourites, again, in Norwich shirt, for Robert Snodgrass. I probably should put it in the first pile, but this one is more likely to be genuine. Bought it from a seller who had lots of these kind of autographs. It's usually a good sign when they have autographs of a lot of the rubbish players or the lesser known ones. So this is Robert Snodgrass, right winger for Leeds, and then one I've shown on the channel recently, and this one being my only card in a graded slab. My Pablo Hernandez on-card autograph, again, has no Leeds United cards. So this is his Swansea City match attack card. that he signed, and I got it authenticated. My favourite Leeds United player. Him, Snodgrass are my top two. But I had a season ticket for 2 or 3 of the season. I think a couple of the seasons. Pablo was a regular starter for us, and he wasn't a really good player to watch. Then going into my binder, I'm hoping this will be able to I'll be able to capture this all right. See how I get on. So my autographs are towards the back. I think it's these couple of pages. I'm just going to move it on top of the cards here. So this is a really funky set that I've got ongoing. So we don't have many cards from the years we're in the Championship, but Tops, I think, did a couple of seasons of Championship match tags. And what I've got here is 9 of the 11 cards autographed. I bought them from various sellers online. As you've seen, I've already got a Ross McCormack. The only 2 I don't have are Becchio and Snodgrass. I do have the Snodgrass card here. I don't think I've actually got a Becchio. He has got this one as well. But in general, a lot of these do look like they could possibly be real. Got the manager Grayson, the keeper at the time was Lonergan. Kisnorbo was towards the end of his Leeds career. Oh dear. Tom Lees came through the academy, same as Johnny Howson. Adam Clayton was with us a couple of years. Danny Pugh wasn't very good. I think this was the season. I think Grayson got fired this year. I can't remember which the manager was that came in straight after him. Did go to a lot of the games, but I remember watching these players. So I have a lot of memories to this team, and I just think it's really cool to own these. I've got a couple more down here. I've got the Bradley Johnson, again, no Leeds United cards, I don't believe. Steve Morrison, who was with us, he did the opposite of a lot of the Leeds players, in that he went from Norwich to Leeds. I think it was part of the deal that saw Becchio go to Norwich, and he was very average for us. He had a long spell without scoring. And then Beckford, one of our cult heroes, didn't spend as long with Leeds as he potentially could, but obviously he went off to the Premier League with Everton and had spells at Leicester, Huddersfield, Preston. Does a lot for the Leeds United own channel online now. And then some of my other autographs. Again, some of these I'm unsure if they're genuine or not. Got another Lewis Cook autograph of an England card back when he got called up. Michael Tong, there's Sheffield United, but he spent a couple of seasons with us. The Dan James autograph here, I'm not 100% sure if it's authentic. Might actually just take my phone off just to show some of these bits a bit easier. So there's the Dan James, and then I've got these 3 I'm unsure about. I've got the Rob Incock, Gelhart and Cooper. I don't think these are necessarily genuine. Down here I've got some of our, and I don't think this one is either, Pascal Struijk. I do think these may be Rodolphe Austin and Aidy White. This is the only other set of Championship match text, and this was this season after the previous pages stuff. And then on to some of the older players, and I think there's these ones I think are all genuine. It's got Paul Robinson, keeper in the 2000s, Dominic Matteo, centre-half during the 2000s, and David Healy played for us during the time in the Championship, before we got relegated to League One. Probably the most memorable thing I remember about him was, because it was just before I started going to games, is that when Northern Ireland beat England in I think it was a Euros or World Cup qualifier, and he scored the goal, and he was like the only Leeds player that went out on international duty, or one of few. But yeah, I think we got relegated this season. Can't remember if we were in League One when he scored the goal, but I definitely remember him being at Leeds. Got Gary Kelly, a player that played for Leeds for, if not all his career, the vast majority. He was still there when I went to my first game with my dad, and he'd been playing for us since, I think he was part of the title win team back in the early 90s. That's how long he stayed around at Leeds. Another one of the legend players, people might recognise the name of, Lucas Radaby, centre half during the 90s and 2000s. Another title winning player, Tony DeRigo. Main reason I bought this is he does a lot of the commentary stuff on the Leeds United channels now, and generally is a bit of a pundit for Leeds United stuff, and it's a very cool card. I mean, this is probably one of the ones I'm most confidence real of all of them, because I don't know why anyone forward best wishes otherwise. Another Gordon Strachan auto. I think this one's likely to be genuine. The same with this Eddie Gray, because they've been signed a kind of pen that I don't think people would fabricate these. And then the other one is Mel Sterland. So these two in this Yorkshire Evening Post kit's the one that we won the title in. But part of the reason I've got these two especially again is for their involvement around Leeds whilst I was growing up as a fan. So when I said about Peter Lorimer hosting the pre-game Q&A stuff, Mel Sterling used to be there regularly, and he used to be a big character and always give very bold predictions of the score. And then Eddie Gray, in and around the club, he's still involved. He's always been for years, I don't know if he still does it, but he's always the co-commentator at Leeds on the coverage stuff. And then Gordon Strachan's just always been in and around football. So I've always recognised him. Again, he was manager of Celtic, Middlesbrough at one point. And was part of the title winning Leeds side, as a few of these players were. But that is pretty much my whole autograph collection of my Leeds stuff. I'm hoping we might get a few more now that Topps have got the licence. I know they do a Dan James autograph, which hopefully I'll pick up at some point. I think they released Meslier autos, but I've obviously already got one of those. So I'm just waiting to see what other cool stuff comes out. But yeah, hopefully people enjoyed seeing this, and I'll be making another video soon.